is forever, forever worship you. I can only imagine. Brave enough to stand up for what you believe and follow it through. When I try to make it make sense in my mind, the only conclusion I come to is a heaven was needing a hero like you. Yes, heaven was needing a hero, and that's you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Matt Peery, Andrew's brother. First thing I need to say is thank you to the citizens of El Paso County and Colorado Springs. I also need to thank the El Paso Sheriff's Department for everything they've done and for their support. In particular, I need to speak to one man, Lieutenant Jim Vidmar. This man has been by my side since the day this happened. He's answered our questions, our concerns, and has been a dramatic support to our family. And I didn't know him last week, but I would call him a friend today. You can see through the slideshow and everything else with the other speakers, me and my brother led very parallel lives. We both joined the Army, we both were in the Airborne, we both went to Iraq, we both became cops. This led to a very competitive spirit between me and my brother. And boy, he would not let that up. Andrew did something very rare in the Army. Andrew did a combat jump in combat theater in Iraq. In doing so, he was awarded a gold star on his airborne wings. Me and Andrew both had airborne tattoos on our arms. And my brother, and I didn't have the gold star, but boy, did he have the gold star. He would sit around my house and he'd just tap on his arm like this for no reason, pointing to his gold star, constantly with this thing. So in the Army terms, it's called the mustard stain. And he'd always bring that up about the mustard stain. One day, me and him at a restaurant one day, and he goes, "You want a mustard stain?" I said, "Yeah, but I didn't earn it." He grabbed the mustard bottle and dumped the whole bottle on my arm. And he goes, "Now you got your mustard stain." But knowing the fellows would know this, he was very competitive in nature, so he wouldn't stop there. It got to the point that every time we went to a restaurant, I had to go hunt down the mustard bottle before he got to it. My brother's huge passion in his career was SWAT. He'd send me half of those photos you saw in that deal, was him poking at me. "Look what I got to do. What did you do today?" He was always, so most of as I've seen, we talked about it a lot. I don't think my brother loved it for the shooting or the tactics as much, for the relationship he had with his fellow team members. He told me about the camaraderie they had, the brotherhood they have, and how he loved his team. And I've met a couple of them, and they fit that bill completely. This is a story I want to read to you I got from one of Andrew's teammates. So I'll give him credit, but he wrote this, but it hit just exactly the way Andrew is. Last year, while I was sitting in a large room awaiting Andrew's briefing to us all, he received a phone call. The caller on the other line remains unknown to this day, and frankly, Andrew should have known better to take a call in front of these guys. He answered, "This is Peery," and allowed the caller to speak. After approximately 20 seconds, Andrew appeared to cut the caller off mid-sentence and say, "I don't do any of that stuff. I'm just one man out here." And he hung up. The reaction room was an outburst of continuous laughter, and from then on, one of Andrew's nicknames, I'm sure he had several, was One Man. Anytime he complained about being tired, someone would respond, "Well, you're just one man." Anytime anyone would mistake a slight error, administrative or otherwise, someone would mock him and say, "It's okay, we know you're just one man." This may be an inside joke that had to be present for to find humor in, so you'll just have to believe me when I say that it was really funny at the time. Andrew's response was typically, "I hate you all." The individuals knew Andrew was one man in many other ways too. He was always the one man who knew he'd be at the He was always the man that I knew would be an hour or more early to anything scheduled. He was the one that would volunteer for miserable assignments that no one else would want to. He was one man that would seek out extra work and more responsibilities every day. He was the one man that I know I never once caught loafing off. He was one man that had the most incredible initiative. He was one man that loved his family. This was a hit for us really bad. Me and him were extremely tight. He was a better man than me. He was a better soldier than me. He was a better cop than me. And he was a better brother than me. And I loved him dearly. Thank you for coming. I appreciate everything.
Just one man. Andrew would always get so mad when we would crack that joke, trying to channel our inner Christian Bale and our Batman voice. Just one man. I never knew how fitting it would be until this last week. If you ever doubted yourself what difference one person could make, look around you and see what an impact one person can have. Of course, Andrew was more than just one man. He was a son, a husband, a father, a brother, a neighbor, a veteran, a deputy, a SWAT member, a brother, a hero, a friend. All of these and more is how Andrew had such an impact on so many lives. He had this natural ability to befriend anyone regardless of who they were or their assignment in the office or elsewhere. Everyone loved Andrew because he had this ability to make everyone feel important, that they held worth as a person. Andrew was always eager to give to those around him, whether it was his last energy drink, a shirt, a patch, a water, or just his time. He would do it without question. He also knew he could cure my RBF by pulling up car to car and dangling my favorite energy drink with that goofy smirk we all are going to miss. Andrew loved being on SWAT and what it stands for. Of course, it's not always easy. There were long days and even longer nights. It meant standing for hours on a barricade in a blizzard or sleepless nights as the pager sings its song. It means missed meals, birthdays, school plays, anniversaries, inconsistent schedules, physical and mental stress, images you can't unsee, family struggles, death or injury, or having to take a life. Sometimes people say, well, that's just what you signed up for. That is not true. These are merely the side effects we choose to accept. We do it for the man or woman to your left, and to your right. We do it in the hopes that our presence will allow one of our brothers and sisters to go home one more night, or that a community member can be saved from the most traumatic day of their life. It's to rescue a little girl from a window after a family member killed her mother. It's rescuing an infant out of a car from a suspect who had violently assaulted their mother and fired a gun recklessly, endangering the public. It's Alex Paz, the woman in the grass, whom Andrew did not know, but not need to, as he willingly gave his life because he knew she needed help. These are just a snapshot of the countless stories that I could tell of Andrew, where he knowingly put himself in harm's way in the hope that others may live. Andrew was larger than life. His sacrifice and loss has left a void in all of our lives. However, if you find yourself asking, why did we do this? Or does any of this matter? Remember the difference one man or one woman can make. No one is coming. It is up to us. Zebra 8, Zebra 18. Until Valhalla, brother. We have to watch from here.
Seeing me up here with a mic and an audience, Andrew would have crossed his arms and sat back and told you all that you were in for a long and probably very rambling speech. He'd be shocked to learn that of the three of us, I have the shortest, as long as I can stick to this script. Talking too much is one of my faults. I often responded to Andrew's ribbing that he was just jealous because he spoke English like it was his second language, without actually speaking another language. As soon as Andrew was hired at EPSO, joining SWAT was inevitable. With his military and tactical background, his skill as a sniper, and his attitude, the team was eager to bring him on board. With a team like ours, a new team member's goal is to fly under the radar until you can establish yourself. Do not open your mouth. Don't give the rest of the guys any ammunition that they can use against you. Don't get singled out. Andrew, in a way that only he could, broke all those rules before he'd even tested for SWAT. That meant we were just waiting for him to make the team to start mercilessly mocking him. For some, that start might have been too daunting, intimidating them into not even testing or trying. Everybody here knows that was not Andrew Peery. He faced it head on. He'd give us his trademark smirk and maybe a menacing flick of whatever cheap knife he was carrying around that day. It would never occur to him that his comfort or his ego would be more important than the mission he was called to. He just put his head down and learned that mission, added his own specific talents, and developed into a crucially important member of the team. As a line level leader, he managed to simultaneously be a valuable mentor to the newest guys, a supremely skilled teammate, and an important sounding board for his own supervisors. Over the past 5 years, there have been countless hours working, training, numerous critical incidents, and the inevitable endless comedy between brothers who serve together. These are the things I'll fondly remember having Andrew at my side and cry, knowing there won't be any more memories. If I wanted to sum up the lasting impact he had on me, it was actually through a memory from my wife, Sarah. She told me that she rarely had a conversation with Andrew in which he didn't assure her that he would take care of me and bring me home. And he always did, every one of us.
love you, brother. Well, Matt made it difficult for me. So for anyone that doesn't know me, my name's Ryan Gonzalez. Andrew and I were teammates on SWAT, and we were also friends and brothers on the team. Andrew and I started working patrol together at the end of 2016 when he transferred out here from Bakersfield and I transferred to the patrol division. We both tried out on SWAT together, and much like his brother said, he had a competitive nature. I made it my first time, and I always used to give him crap about throwing a round on the shoot-in his first try. But eventually he joined me on the team. As we came up on SWAT, eventually I was placed into a team leader role. Andrew, shortly thereafter, was right beside me as the other team leader. He and I worked tirelessly together to make sure all of our boys were safe every time we ran out the door, not knowing what the next few hours might hold. No matter the time of day, what we had planned, in snowstorms with 0-degree temps, rain or shine, it did not matter. We went, and we always went together. Working together in these roles, we built a very close friendship during that time. Andrew was an unbelievable friend and teammate who listened to everything I ever taught him, and I did the same as he taught me. Andrew and I were involved in so many incidents on SWAT, patrol, fugitive apprehension, and so much more, but we always walked out together. Tragically, Andrew did not walk out of this one because he selflessly ran into danger, a situation where he tried to save a life, consequently sacrificing his own. This April, our team was in a major incident, and for a little while, we were in a really bad spot, but together we found our way out safely. I went home that night having had a very close call myself. I struggled some after that night with how close it really was. Andrew was right there for me though, hitting me up, talking to me, ensuring my head was back in the game before I went back to work. He always knew just the right way to approach his guys, the right things to say, and the right things I needed to hear that night. I could tell you story after story of bravery and heroics that many times are unknown to almost every single person in this room. Most happen late at night while the rest of the city and county are sleeping. But guys like Andrew were jumping out of their bed, leaving their family behind without even a second thought to go and protect the people of this community. I want to tell you one quick story of the wonderful man, father, and friend that I knew though. Just a couple days after this incident in April, our kids who have been running track and cross country together for several years both had races at Harrison High School. I was at my youngest daughter's meet a few miles away, and my wife and I had been rushing back and forth between the two and my oldest. We've been going back and forth, just having a great day, spending it watching our kids run, hanging out with two of the best guys I know, Matt Gaw and Andrew Peery. We were at Harrison cheering for Andrew's son, Matt, as he was running one of his races, just having a great time, making fun of Fisher. I couldn't even remember what it was, Fish, but I'm pretty sure it was all about that pumpkin spice hair product you use. I had to leave Andrew and his daughter Amy though, and run back to my daughter's last race. I told Andrew if I wasn't able to make it to cheer for us and let me know how she does. A little while later, he calls me and is just screaming. He is going nuts on the phone, and it's almost insane. I cannot describe to you the enthusiasm and excitement he had on the phone, but Andrew is just going crazy, telling me how Alexia gets the baton in this race at least 50 yards behind. She sees first place and takes off and catches her and blows by her to win the race. To anyone around him, they would have thought she was his daughter because of the love and excitement he had for her. That's the guy he was to me and my family. I'm so lucky to have a picture that another parent took of Andrew on the phone with me that day, standing next to his daughter and mine. It's a moment I'm going to cherish for the rest of my life. Andrew loved the people around him. He loved his friends, he loved his family, and he treated them like they're always part of his own. I will miss those races. I was cheering for our kids side by side. But Matt, I'll promise you this. You have a dad going nuts for you when you run. You have somebody there yelling for you at the finish line as you continue to excel in running. I will be there. These guys sitting to the right will be there. The guy standing next to me will be there. We will always be there for you, just like your dad was for us. Amy, you also have so many guys that are going to be here for you. We will always be there when you need a dad, for that first high school dance, when it's time for you to learn how to drive, or when that first date and a boy needs to be talked to. We will be there. No matter the time of day, time of night, we will show up and stand in your dad's place, just as he would have done for us. Megan, thank you so much for letting us speak on your behalf to honor Andrew. Please remember Andrew the way I knew him, as a father, a husband, and a man who loved his friends and sacrificed so much all. Zebra 8, Zebra 5, I have control. Rest easy, brother.
Police honors will commence shortly. The purpose of this ceremony is to render honors and preserve tradition. This will include a display of the flag, playing of taps, a 3-volley gun salute, and the folding of the flag. Please be seated. Deputy Andrew Peery was a SWAT operator. Each team member is presenting their coins to him. These coins are earned when they graduate the SWAT qualification training and become SWAT members. Giving him their earned coins is a sign of respect to a fallen brother.
Zebra 8, Deputy Peery. Zebra 8, Deputy Andrew Peery. Zebra 8, Deputy Andrew Peery. Negative contact from Zebra 8, Deputy Andrew Peery. Thank you for your bravery and years of service. You will not be forgotten. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. End of watch, August 7th, 2022.
Zebra 8, clear off board. The scriptures say, blessed are those who die in the Lord, for their works live on after them. May our memory of this man continue. Let us pray. May the grace of God and the communion of the Holy Spirit be with each of you as you go from this place. May his tender care rest, reign, and abide in an extra special way with the Peery family. May this family be in our prayers in the days and in the years to come. In Jesus' name. And all God's people said, Sergeant Garrett will now give final instructions.
Please rise as our fallen hero and his family are escorted to their vehicles.
Ready, ice. Ready, ice. Ready, up. Ready, out. 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 Rotate. Out. 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 Ready, ice. Arr. Up. 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 Ice. 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 And who? Order. Who? Aware. Who?
El Paso County Sheriff's Office personnel, those of you participating in the procession, you are dismissed. Please expedite to your vehicles.